go. Will the Indiana Pacers continue their home domination over the Golden State Warriors? This is Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. Non-conference Tuesday night NBA action, Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Pacers opened up as 7.5-point home favorites. That number has reached 8 across the board on SBRodds.com, while the real movement has happened in the betting total, moving from 193.5 to 195.5. When you look at the Golden State Warriors, they are coming in on a 3-game winning streak, coming off a victory on the road against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I really counted them out after the first quarter in that game. I was watching the Daytona 500 on Sunday afternoon from one of the properties here in Las Vegas and noticed that the Warriors just came out really flat. Of course, they were coming off a straight-up victory over the San Antonio Spurs at home, and they also preceded that victory with a victory over the Phoenix Suns. 1-5 on the road since the start of February. They failed to cover those 5 losses by an average of 12.2 points per game against the spread, but they are 15-16 away from home this season, including a solid 8-3 mark versus Eastern Conference foes. But they don't fare very well against this particular Eastern Conference foe, especially at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. They are 1-10 straight up and against the spread in their last 11 trips to Indianapolis, losing 5 straight games in that situation. And defensively, this team is not playing very good defense right now, and historically they haven't played very good defense. The last 5 times they played Indianapolis on the road, or Indiana on the road, allowed 114.2 points per game. They also haven't swept this season series since 2000-2001. More on the first meeting between these two teams later in the video. 1-7 ATS versus teams with a winning record in their last 8 games. The only victory in that span against the San Antonio Spurs. But when you handicap that game, the San Antonio Spurs were playing the 8th game of their 9-game rodeo road trip. So definitely a flat spot for them. They survived in overtime, picking up a victory, and it snapped a 16-game losing streak for the Warriors against the Spurs. The Indiana Pacers, they come in riding a 4-game win streak, a real unique situation given the fact that the last 2 of those came against the Detroit Pistons playing a home-and-home series. They are also 23-5 straight up at home, 8-2 versus Western Conference opponents. Maybe not the best spot motivationally for the Indiana Pacers playing a team out of conference, and they also are 6-4 straight up and against the spread with 2 days rest. But they're going to be looking for revenge. 103-92 setback when they played in the Bay Area against the Warriors on December 1st. Of course, they were 5-point road underdogs in that game, so definitely a variance in terms of the market when you look at the betting line. So this really is the top level that odds makers could have placed Indianapolis or Indiana. So I definitely want to suggest playing them at 8.5 or higher in this game. The real key story in that game was All-Star Paul George was held scoreless for the first time this season, the only time this season in that particular game. He averages 17.6 points per game. They are 3-0 ATS when playing teams that average 99 or more points in the second half of the season. The reason why they are so good against the spread in that situation, they have the best defense in all of basketball in terms of scoring defense and also defensive field goal percentage. I think that carries them through here. Also, Indiana has been very good offensively on its home floor basically since the start of this month. So I have faith in laying 8. I wouldn't lay any more than that in this spot. I think this is the true number. That is my official pick, the Indiana Pacers -8 against the Golden State Warriors on Tuesday night. You can get any more information on this game or any other on the NBA odds board by following me on Twitter at Jeff Grant Sports. And also check out more SBR videos at SBRvideos.com, including a game that I'm about to cover with the Sacramento Kings versus the Miami Heat, and also a college basketball matchup, the Indiana Hoosiers traveling to take on the Minnesota Golden Gophers. But this has been another edition of Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. Cut.